What's going on, guys? Chaseontwowheels here, and today I'm going to be making a video of the 5 things I refuse to ride my motorcycle without. No, I do not have a voice, but yes, I am a professional, which means I will record this video anyway. Guys, the list of stuff I have for you guys today ranges from $25 to $800 items. None of it includes gear, but each of the 5 items are something that massively increase my enjoyment or something to my riding. So I'm going to share that with you guys today. Hopefully you guys find something you like or don't like or something like that. Hopefully it's a helpful video for you guys. Let's get into the first item. Guys, before we get into that first item, I did want to let you guys know I partnered up with Livewire, Cardo, and Alphinestars to do a totally free giveaway for you guys. If you want to get entered, links in the description down below. Later in the video, I'll tell you guys all the stuff you can win. So guys, we'll start the video off with the least expensive item, and that is earplugs. I know, super exciting, but here's the thing. When you are riding a motorcycle, loud noises over a long period of time can really damage your hearing, and turns out that wind noise in most helmets over 65 miles an hour is loud enough to ruin your hearing forever, and there's no way to fix it with a surgery or anything like that. So take it from me, earplugs are super cheap. You can get the little disposable ones. There's tons of videos on the internet comparing them. The ones I like the most are these from a company called Loop. This is not a sponsor, they're not paying or anything like that, but my wife and I also use these for shooting weddings because it gets really loud at the reception and stuff like that. But these are also perfect for motorcycle riding because they fit really well into your ear, and they don't affect the being able to hear stuff like motorcycle noises or ambulances and stuff like that. And they also come in a cool little case. Even if you just get the little disposable ones, get some sort of hearing protection. I'll tell you guys, when I started riding, I would go out and do these day-long rides, and I would get back and I would kind of have a headache and I would be exhausted. And I just thought that was because riding took a lot of energy from you. And a few years into my riding, I started trying earplugs because a couple buddies told me to try earplugs. You would be shocked at how much less energy motorcycle riding takes when you are protecting your ears, because you guys probably don't realize that while you're riding, you're excited, you're having a good time on the bike, you're not even really thinking about it, but there is actually a massive amount of noise happening to your ears, and it's not from your motorcycle. I know most people are like, oh, my exhaust is loud, so I don't need earplugs, I want to hear it. It's not the noise from the bike that's going to affect you the most, it's the constant wind noise that's happening, especially if you're riding on the highway. So earplugs are so cheap. The Loop ones are like $25, but those little disposable ones, you can get a pack of 100 for next to nothing. So whatever ones you get, make sure you're wearing earplugs on your rides, guys. Once you damage your hearing, it cannot get any better, so it's not really something you want to mess with. I'll have links for the Loop earplugs in the description down below, as well as links for everything I'm talking about today, but I'll also include the really tiny ones that are disposable, so you have an even cheaper option. Alright guys, the next item on my list is some sort of tool roll or tool kit. Now, I've always recommended this one for years, this Stockton toolkit you can get on Revzilla. If you don't have any tools and you're new to riding a motorcycle, this little guy is fantastic to get just to get a basic level of tools for you to do stuff on your motorcycles. Now, the pro for this thing is it only costs $20, especially if you can get it on sale and stuff like that. And for $20, if you have no tools, this is fantastic. Okay, so I can't say the high words. This tool roll is fantastic. The only problem with this one is it's really heavy and it does come with a lot of tools. So for me, I know what tools I need, so I wouldn't personally go with this. But if you don't have anything, I would go with the Stockton one until you can build up one custom for you. When it comes to the tool roll I'm using, I had one sent out to me from Lone Rider, and that's the one I've been building up with the tools I actually need. I can put everything in here and only the stuff I want to keep up with. So I'll give you guys a basic run through of some of the things I think you should have in here that I don't think a lot of people generally have. Now guys, I'm not going on massive adventures and stuff like that. I'm just like riding around town, so I like to have a really minimal tool roll kit, and I love the way Lone Rider has theirs laid out. Although I did see one from Kriega on Revzilla, but it's like $98, so it's really expensive for just a roll. But I really like the way that they have just like a canister on the end that you can just put tons of stuff into, whereas the Lone Rider one has lots of these little bags. So here's some of the stuff you might want to consider putting in a tool roll that you keep with you just in case. First off, the main thing that's going to happen to you on the road, and literally happened to me on a first ride the other day, is a tire patch kit. Especially if you're riding through areas that have a lot of construction going on. Dude, these guys just are throwing nails and screws all over the place. You have no idea how easy it is to just get a nail into your tire. When I did the first ride the other day, I came back and noticed a screw was in the tire. Now luckily I was only riding around town and it wasn't leaking air, but that could have been something a massive issue could have caused from that. So I love having a tire repair kit. It's just the few things you need to get a patch on your tire and get you to somewhere that you're trying to get to. What I would recommend is you have a tool roll and you buy the tire patch kit and put everything from the patch kit in your tool roll. That way you don't have to carry this big old thing. Just use Ziploc bags for the kind of messy stuff. Another thing that I would recommend to put inside your tool roll is a air inflator. Now, I know Fanttik, you guys have probably seen them sponsor other videos, but I'll tell you one thing. Fanttik is probably one of the main companies that I didn't even know about until they reached out to do a sponsorship. They're not sponsoring this episode, by the way, but their product is affordable and works fantastic. Personally, I like their X9 Pro the most. This is what I keep around the shop here and I use that. But in my tool roll, they have a smaller one called X9 Ace. And if you guys see these two next to each other, look how much smaller that is. And it has this little valve here. Now this one's not as nice as the X9 Pro, but I'll just use this little valve piece and I'll wrap it into the tool roll, and that way I can just wrap this up with all the other tools. Other things in here I have are like a knife or a little multi-tool. I have a retractable set of Allens here, just a couple wrenches and socket sizes and stuff like that. And that really does it for what I need on the general, you know, like day-to-day stuff, like tightening things or putting air in my tire, because sometimes your tire will just be less inflated, so you want to have the right tire pressures. That's generally what I'm keeping in my tool roll, but depending on your needs and your motorcycle, your tool roll is going to look totally different from everybody else's. But I do recommend you guys get a tool roll. Long story short, get that, keep some essential stuff with you just in case, because dude, motorcycling's dangerous as hell. You never know what's going to happen. Highly recommend you guys getting one of these. I will say one of the cool things about keeping an air compressor with you inside your tool roll is if you ever go and do a group ride, right before everybody's about to go ride and they're grabbing gas, suddenly that's when everybody thinks to check their tire pressures, which unless you're at like a quick trip is a terrible time to check your tire pressures. But you will feel very cool when everybody's checking their tire pressure and they're like, oh man, I'm at 41, I need to get to 43 or whatever. And you pull one of these out, because then one person checks their tire pressure, they're like,
oh, you have one of those, thank you so much.
And then the whole group, everybody starts checking their tire pressures and you're the guy of like, no problem, I'm the only one that was prepared here. That has happened to me before, and I love the feeling of being like,
don't worry everybody, I've got you on air.
Anyway, it was a cool little moment. I definitely recommend you guys to check it out. All right, next item that I will not ride without are sunglasses. Specifically, Flying Eyes sunglasses. Guys, in the summertime here in Georgia, it is hot. I don't care what type of full face helmet you have on, it does not have enough vents to make this humid, hot air enough to cool you down. So the only thing I have found to do is just open my visor. The only problem is if you open your visor, bro, the amount of stuff that can fly into your eye, the last thing I want is a piece of asphalt to get kicked up from a car tire and hit me in the eyeball. Then I've got one eye left and I've got to pull off the, dude, I am not doing none of that. So my solution to getting all the air that I want while I ride is sunglasses. The reason I go with Flying Eyes is because they are the only sunglasses made for people that wear helmets and headphones. Like pilots is what they're made for, but they work out fantastic for riders as well. I don't know if you guys can see, look how thin the arms are on these glasses. So these are the Osprey models. I love them. And then I am recently a huge fan of the Ninox, I guess is what you call them. But the arms on all of their sunglasses are very thin, and because of the material they're made of, they are extraordinarily flexible. You can bend them all over the place, and I don't know if you guys are like me, but I do not treat my sunglasses well, and these are no different, but these can actually take a beating. I don't know if you guys have tried other sunglasses before, but most sunglasses have really thick arms, and when you put them on, they cause a pressure point right here on the side of your head. Bro, that is the fastest way to get a terrible migraine. You do not want to go down that path. Flying Eyes are the only sunglasses that I can literally wear all day, like through an entire ride. So I always have a pair of these that I ride in. I'm even considering getting a pair with clear lenses, and that way I can ride at night with my visor open, because obviously you don't want to ride at night with like sunglasses on, but I've highly considered getting a pair with just the lenses here, and that way if something's going to come up and hit your eye, it'll hit the lens, not your eyeball. I love Flying Eyes. I've been wearing these for probably 3 to 4 years at this point, and I absolutely love them. They have held up with the test of time. They are a little expensive, but if you use my discount code, I do have 10% off. I'm one of their like affiliate people, so I get a little kickback if you guys use that link, so I appreciate it. I promise you, you guys will enjoy these glasses. So pick up a pair if you don't have one yet, or ask for them for a birthday or a Christmas present or something like that. They're not cheap, but that's one of the nice things about getting stuff that's not cheap. They actually hold up. You don't have to just get tons of cheap pairs of stuff. So highly recommend those. They are my favorite sunglasses, and a lot of you guys have tried them out. They're fantastic. All right, guys, next item is even more expensive than the Flying Eyes, but it is even more required, at least for me. When I go ride, most of the time I'm riding by myself, and I love listening to music while I ride. It entirely changes my riding experience. If I have to ride without listening to music, it feels kind of weird at this point. But my next thing is a Bluetooth communicator. Now, there's tons of models. You can get cheap things off Amazon, or you can just get the thing that everybody knows and loves, and that is a Cardo. I specifically have the Packtalk Pro. The reason I went with the Packtalk Pro is because it has a few features that I really like. You can watch the review I did if that video came out already. But long story short, fantastic battery life, huge speakers that play your music, and that is necessary because you need to be wearing the earplugs, right? So if you have your earplugs in, you need something to really pump music into your ears because it has to get through the noise of everything and the earplugs, and the speakers that come on the Packtalk Pro are sick. Even with the earplugs in, dude, you can rock out with some stuff. Another cool thing about the Cardo is it has like mesh technology, so it's super simple to connect with your buddies, especially if they have Cardos. And then if a buddy gets too far out and he drops out of the group, when he gets back into the group, it'll just sync him back into the group. It is the most seamless rider-to-rider experience you will experience with other riders. Now, if you guys have a Packtalk Edge versus a Packtalk Pro, one of the main things that this unit can do is if you get in a wreck, it'll actually notify your significant other or whoever you put into the contacts thing. It also has a really cool feature where if I put this thing down for 30 seconds, it will actually automatically turn off, and it will turn back on when I pick it back up. I'm really bad about leaving stuff on, so I really love that feature. And I also love the safety thing of if something happens and I get in a wreck and I'm not able to communicate with somebody, it'll actually, I have it set to text my wife and all that kind of stuff. So it's a nice little added safety feature. Now, Cardos are not cheap. This one I think is coming in at $450, but in my experience, getting the good stuff that works well, you don't have to get anything else. You hook this thing up into your helmet, which is any Bluetooth thing, hooking it into your helmet is always a pain. So I'm really not interested in buying a cheap thing, having to wire my entire helmet, and then it breaking, and I have to uninstall everything in my helmet, and I have to get another one and reinstall that. I'd rather just get the nice thing that I know works. And Cardo is the only company I trust with Bluetooth stuff. I've been using them for God, years now, and ever since I started using Cardos, I was a changed man. I was like, okay, cool, those are the Bluetooths I'm gonna be using. So I know this, I love this, and that is the company I trust. If you guys want to listen to music or talk to your friends, the Cardo will change your life. And you don't have to get the Packtalk Pro Black or whatever. You can literally get any of their models. Their quality is absolutely fantastic. So if you can't afford that one, there's tons of other models. I'll have links to Cardo's website. Those are affiliate links, and I got you guys a discount. So it'll make the price not as bad, but it'll be worth it regardless. Alrighty guys, the final thing on the list and the most expensive item on this video is a airbag device. The one I'm specifically talking about is Alphinestars Tech Air 5. Now, MSRP for this thing is $786, and I know that is expensive as hell, but how much is your health worth? So for you guys that have never heard of airbag vest, what airbag vests do specifically with the Tech Air 5 is it has sensors inside of this thing, and if it detects using its sensors and algorithm that you are going or about to get into an accident, it will inflate and cover all of your vital organs inside of your jacket. So guys, let me tell you a story real quick. Earlier in the year, I did a review of the Tech Air 5. Alphinestars sent it out, and I thought it was a really neat piece of technology that I had never really experienced before. Like, airbag vests seem like crazy MotoGP stuff. I didn't even realize that regular people could buy this kind of stuff. I did my review earlier in the year, and the thing I took away from the review was that, wow, I feel safer wearing this. And you know, I have a wife, I have family, I have people that rely on me, so I try to wear my gear almost all the time. And after I rode in the Tech Air 5, I was like, man, I feel so much safer riding a motorcycle with the Tech Air 5 on. So after that, I almost always wore the Tech Air 5 because you never know what's gonna happen. And then a few months later, I had the unfortunate circumstance of having to test one of these. I guess not having to test one of these. I tested it. I was out riding my motorcycle, and you guys know I can't go into all the details of the wreck that happened earlier in the year, but I got in a wreck. Luckily, I had my Tech Air 5 on, and basically I went over the trunk of a car after running directly into it, and I was able to stand up and just walk away from that wreck. I had no major issues. It was incredible knowing and watching, because I was recording at the same time, watching what happened to my body physically and watching the airbag instantly inflate. I was literally clicking through frames, watching it inflate underneath. So I know a lot of people are thinking like, that's a lot of money, like what if it doesn't work? Guys, Alphinestars does nothing but test gear to make sure it's the safest for you. And I can personally vouch that the Tech Air 5 will inflate in milliseconds. I literally clicked through frame by frame on the video that I was recording of myself, and you can see my jacket is kind of like, you know, whatever. And then before my full butt gets off the seat, before I flew off the bike, you can see I go from whatever to like Hulk before he busts out of his clothes when he transforms. It's absolutely nuts. I feel like if that ever happened to any of you guys, you would get to the point where I'm at right now, where before I was like, man, I really want to make sure I wear my airbag vest underneath my riding gear when I ride. After that accident, I will not ride without a Tech Air 5 on. You will not I don't care if I'm going a mile down the road, I will have a Tech Air 5 on. I don't care how hot it is outside. I don't care how annoying it is. I will have this thing on, because you never know. The video that I was out filming while I had this on, I was just doing a battery test. I was just riding my motorcycle until the batteries were gonna die in the cameras that I was testing out. I had no idea what was going to happen that day, and that's one of the things that it made me realize getting into that wreck wearing that is you have no idea what's going to happen that day that you go ride. I mean, it could be a mile down the road, it could be a 1,000-mile trip in a day. You never know what ride you're on, and the Tech Air 5 is going to always be there and make sure that the damage you're going to take is absolutely minimized. I'm hoping that I can help you guys understand this so you don't have to go through a wreck and then wish you had one. Now, I know $800 is crazy expensive, and you know, that's like save up kind of money, but there are cheaper options. Now, if you're looking for a cheaper option, Alphinestars also has the Tech Air 3. This guy is not as expensive as the Tech Air 5, so instead of being just an undergarment, the Tech Air 3 can actually go on top or underneath your riding jacket, so you can kind of wear it however you want. It's got a pocket over here and stuff like that. So if I remember correctly, the Tech Air 3 is coming in around the $400 mark. So it's like half the price of the Tech Air 5. But it's awesome that they give you a cheaper alternative to get into airbag riding. And guys, Alphinestars is not, you know, sponsoring this video. This is literally just having experienced the difference in wearing an airbag product. It's absolutely insane. It easily can be life saving for you if you get in a wreck. And I don't really care if you get a Tech Air 5. I don't care if you get a Tech Air 3, or I don't know what other airbag stuff there is out there, but I'm sure other companies make airbag stuff. So if you guys, you know, are not a fan of Alphinestars or whatever, my whole point is get some sort of airbag system for yourself. Motorcycling is a very dangerous activity. And a lot of the times you aren't in control of the danger that you're in, because you know, you can only control so much being the rider on a motorcycle. There's cars and all types of stuff. So all I want you guys to do is be aware that airbag technology is out there, and if you're able to, save up and get you something, because you will not regret spending that money the day that something happens to you on the road. Alright guys, thanks for getting to the end of the video, and here is the stuff that we are going to be giving away with Livewire, Cardo, and Alphinestars. So Livewire is bringing in this awesome swag bag with all types of stuff in it. Cardo is including one of their brand new, the top of the line Packtalk Pros. That is the Bluetooth communicator I used and talked about in this video. And Alphinestars is throwing in one of their Tech Air 3s. You guys can win these things totally free. All you have to do is go to that link, sign up, and once you go to that link, there's going to be other ways to get even more entries. So liking this video, following all the companies on Instagram, all types of stuff, none of it costs any money. So get to that link, put your name in, and get you guys some free stuff. Also, shout out to the companies for doing a really awesome giveaway. That's pretty cool. And guys, that is all the stuff I will not ride without, excluding my gear, obviously. If I missed something, let me know in the comments down below, and while you're down there, make sure to hit the like button on this video. You guys know how much it helps out. Don't have to tell you why. I'm Chaseontwowheels. Thank you guys for watching this video. Outro crew, thank you for getting to the end, and I will see you guys on the next one. Later. All right, throat lubricated. Holy crap, I made it. All right, really didn't think I was gonna be able to film this video, so I'm super stoked that this was able to happen. Okay, I'm gonna go now. Good job, boys. You made it. Proud of you, kid.